know that we've all, at one point or the other, fantasized about getting married, especially us girls. But then that's usually in the early parts of our lives when we probably not even had our first real relationship as yet. As we get older, the question starts to emerge. Is marriage really for me? So, in this video, I'm going to be answering some questions on how you can decide if marriage is for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Sharice Roxburgh, who everybody calls Roxy. I hope that you all are having an awesome day today. My day has been going absolutely great so far. Thanks for asking. If you haven't already, I would highly suggest that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I post videos like this every single Sunday. So without any further rambling, let's hop into this video. Alright, so before I tell you some of the signs that you should look for when you're thinking about getting married, I have to tell you this, and it's a huge pet peeve of mine. So many people get married because of religion or religious beliefs. Now, I'm not saying that you should not get married if you're a Christian or if you believe in God or you believe that this is a part of the Bible. But it is not enough for you to go ahead and get married. What I would suggest is you wait until you find that person. These people, they just get married because they want to have sex and it will be considered okay in their church or their various religious groups, right? So just hold out. If you're so religious, hold out until you find the right person. Another thing is they're so miserable in the relationship. No one should have to be miserable. God did not intend for us to be miserable in a relationship. So you get married just because of church and you're so miserable. You know, even if you're not stepping out of your marriage, you're absolutely miserable. That is not healthy, and it's not good for you. It's not good for your partner, and it's not good for children if you have any. So the very first indicator to tell if you are ready for marriage or if marriage is for you is how you feel when you are in a committed relationship. No, I'm not talking about dating, because if you're just dating, you know, you're exploring, you're not with one person. But how do you feel when you're in a committed relationship? Do you feel safe or do you feel trapped? Now, sometimes it can be a little tricky because our minds play a lot of tricks on us and tell ourselves, well, you know, I'm okay, I feel safe. But then the reality peeks through just a little bit at some point and you feel trapped. This is what you need to be paying attention to. So don't ignore it. And the next thing is, if you're feeling this way, don't keep it to yourself either. Express it to your partner. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this can simply mean that you've had trauma in your previous or in your past life. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just a little trauma and you're feeling just a little bit trapped, and it's something that you can actually work through. This does not necessarily mean that marriage is not for you, but it just means you probably need just a little bit more work to get this going and get everything where they're supposed to be. So seek additional help, counseling, and please, like I said before, include your partner in this. Do not keep it to yourself because it's going to blow up in the long run. So if you're feeling trapped in your committed relationship, that is a sign that you're probably not ready for marriage and you probably need to get some additional help. Another way to know if marriage is for you or indicates that you are ready for marriage is that you don't threaten or think about leaving after a tough discussion. Now, every single relationship is going to have disagreements. How big is definitely up to you as a couple, but every single relationship has disagreements. How you feel during and after that disagreement is definitely paramount to deciding if you really are ready for marriage. Because if every single time you think about leaving or you threaten to leave after an argument or after a hard discussion, then you probably are not ready for marriage. This means that probably when you get married, it's going to get too much at one point, and then you're still going to have that thought process in your mind that, hey, well, I can leave, or I'm going to leave, or whatever. So no one gets married to break up. I don't know about y'all, but nobody gets married to break up. It's a long-term commitment, and if you're having these thoughts, it's probably something you need to work on before you go ahead and get married. If it's persistent, then maybe marriage is just not for you. So we discussed how we felt when we were in a committed relationship. Now this one is how you feel when you are alone. Do you feel like you have to be with someone? Is it a fact that you're not so in love with yourself that you cannot be alone for any period of time? Do you always have to be in a relationship? This might be tricky, and you might be saying, well, I'm comfortable in a relationship, or I always want to be in a relationship, so it makes sense to get married. Well, I'm here to tell you that's probably not the best thing to do. Feel comfortable with yourself first. Be okay being alone. When you're okay being alone, then you actually know yourself more. You get more intimate time with your own thoughts. You get more intimate time with yourself. So at this point in time, you know exactly what you want and what you don't want. You get what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm going with this? So if you always feel like you must be in a relationship, it's probably a sign that you need to take some time for yourself. Get to know yourself better. Don't always jump from one relationship to another right away. Take some time. And this does not mean that you cannot date. Dating is fine, but commitment wise, don't jump from one committed relationship to another committed relationship right away. Get some time to explore, know yourself, know what you like, explore different people, understand people, so that you have a better judgment when the time comes and you're ready to make that big commitment. Alright, so it's important to learn yourself, be okay with being alone, and just overall just love yourself first before you can actually love someone else. Is your partner perfect for you? Notice how I stressed on perfect for you? Listen, we all know the Denzel Washingtons and the Channing Tatum and all of those people. You know, the 6 feet tall guys with, you know, everything, the fat bank accounts and the nice car and whatever. Listen, all of that is great. And if you find a guy like that, that is for you. That is absolutely awesome. But not every woman wants that. Not every guy like that is perfect for every girl. Some girl might just want a shorty. It depends on how the guy treats you. It's never about these physical attributes. It's always about how he treats you. And sadly to say, or not even so sadly, because there is someone for everyone, how these guys treat you will also depend on you, how you treat them. So don't just go ahead and look for a specific type. Yes, you have standards, and absolutely those standards should be met, because that can also pose an issue. But also sometimes we need to reevaluate our standards, okay? And those standards need to be realistic. And if you find a guy that meets all of the most important things within your standards, then go ahead for it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Some of the small things can wait, or some of the small things are not even so important. So we fixate on all of the things that we should not be fixated on, and then we end up with no one. So if your partner is absolutely perfect for you, then that's a sign that you're ready for marriage and everything is cool. But if you're just in a relationship just because you're meeting the standards of society, then you're probably not ready for marriage, because 9 out of 10 times, it's not going to end well for anybody. Serious face. This is one of the most important tips that you will ever hear if you are deciding or you want to get married. You're deciding if marriage is for you or not. This is going to be one of the most important tips that I've shared in this video, and one of the most important tips overall. And this is, marriage takes effort. Are you willing? Ask yourself this question. Are you willing to put in the effort that it is needed for the survival of a union? Ask yourself this question seriously. Marriage is all good and fine until some effort is required from one party or from even both parties. This is where the breakdown usually happens. No one is willing to make the effort to fix your marriage if it's broken, or to prevent it from becoming broken. So ask yourself that question and seriously sit and ponder and think about what your answer is going to be. And if your answer is no, there is no judgment here. There is absolutely no judgment here. Listen, we're all human beings. I was married once and it just did not work out. Won't go into the details about that, but the fact is, there are some things that I wish I knew then that I know now. You get what I'm saying? So when you're thinking about getting married, ask yourself this very important question. Am I willing to put in the effort that it takes for this union to survive? The answer is no. Like I said, there is no judgment here. It takes a lot, and if you're not ready, then you are not ready. Do not be forced or do not be compelled by anyone or anything to do something that you are not ready for. Make sure that you are ready, and then when you are, things will fall right into place. So unfortunately guys, that was my very last tip on how you can decide if marriage is for you, or how you can prepare yourself for marriage. I hope that you all had an awesome time watching this video. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week, same place, same time, for the next video. See you later, alligator.